Thank you. The price sounds really good.
Yeah.
Hi, everyone. Thank you for joining us. I hope you're enjoying the sessions today. And now let's talk more about AI technology and more specifically, how to build a document understanding pipeline. My name's Elliot Ning. I am currently responsible for the enterprise cloud solutions at Google. I am a big fan and supporter of AI democratization. So I hope we can bring more and more innovative tools to the market so that more people can choose the right technology, based on your needs, your expertise and preferences to solve your problems with the power of AI. So today I'm going to talk about how we can solve a common problem in many organizations, how to deal with growing number of documents. More importantly, not just how we can understand them, right? But also turn them into meaningful information for us to make better decisions, which means we want to bring values to the business. Here's my agenda today. So first, let's quickly talk about the current market challenges and opportunities. Secondly, I will briefly go over what is document AI, what does it do, and how can it help your applications or business, depending on your roles. And then we will uncover what is under the hood, talk about the technology, including computer vision, natural language processing, and also data warehouse. Very important note, so this is not a class to show you how to build the tools like writing parsers, programming OCR models. Here I am going to focus on leveraging the existing tools to achieve your goals in a more cost-effective approach. So choose the right tools that make sense. Build it only if you have to. And then I'm going to wrap up to summarize some of the key things that we cover and give some recommendations if we have enough time. All right, so let's first talk about the market. Our world is rapidly evolving, right? Customer expectations are much higher than before. As a business, to stay competitive, you need to constantly look for new ways, right, to innovate. You bring new products, new features, new services to the market in order to be relevant and stay successful. So it may apply to you. Nearly all business have documents in their process. We're not only talking about papers, but also in basically any kind of digital formats. So how is that leading us? We got challenges. Challenges of processing the growing number of documents. So according to the research, only small portion of the enterprise data is optimized for computer system to read, but the majority is not. So they may not have predefined formats or patterns that you can easily extract the information. They may require a large amount of examples and complex ML models to be trained. If you're already trying to make sense of these documents, you can spend a lot of time and money on processing and also analyzing them. But then you have to worry about inaccuracy, human error, incomplete information, and efficiency. So the complexity of documents have increased exponentially as business practice evolve. First one is high volume. So the number of documents will not stop. They will keep growing. Processes that involve large volumes of unstructured content may not be able to keep up with the kind of growth. High diversity. with different sort of digital transformation tools that your organization adopt, the incoming data spans a wide variety of types, including docs, Excel, slides, PDF, and some sort of semi-structured formats like JSONs, XMLs, or sometimes a free-form text. External knowledge. In the modern business, the market demands you to evaluate, document against not just your local environment, but also in a global knowledge base. There are different kinds of languages, localizations, behavior, culture, and more. Last but not least is semantic depth. So you want to link the incoming data stream with multiple data sources to generate new values. For example, you want to cross-link the marketing data, to sales, to customer support, and industry trends, which means that one change may reference and impact many additional data records within or even cross organizations. So these are the challenges that we have. What do we need? So we need a very comprehensive enterprise data warehouse powered by AI technologies in order to take the full benefits of our documents. So the flow includes capture the relevant information, from unstructured content, process into the way that we prefer, store depending on the different types and requirements, analyze with a unified query engine, and then visualize the way that people find more effective. So there are three core components. Document AI being at the front of the pipeline, followed by a knowledge graph that you define. And it all processed via a powerful data warehouse to streamline and unify all the analytics operations. Of course, you can also add human in the loop if human review is required in your process. So you can see, this whole process starts with document AI. But what exactly is document AI? Document AI is a solution, in a very high level. You could easily process your documents and unlock their full potential value without complex operations and large upfront investment. The document AI turns unstructured documents into structured data. And who doesn't like structured data? Data engineers can parse the information more effectively into an organized way, tables, schemas. Data scientists can query easily afterwards to identify the trends and patterns. And then business users can benefit from the dashboards and reports generated from the query results. But the problem is, this pipeline is not easy to build and maintain. So it makes much sense for using AI to automate it if possible. So document AI has many benefits, It is more accurate than manual process. It can increase to theoretically any volume as long as the infrastructure scales. But also you have the choice to offload the operations to a managed service. And it's much faster. It also boosts productivity by having the capability to integrate with many downstream services. And also it may understand better than human. So after all, document AI is not a single product. It's a collection of tools and services that can help you in different stages of the process. For example, here's a typical document understanding flow, right? Read, understand, and make it useful. Very easy to understand, right? Step one is to read, to extract the text and values from the documents, including not only the text formats, but also images, PDFs, scan forms, and also handwritings. So the key here is to make sure the right information is collected from the raw format. Step two is to understand the information extracted, right, from those documents. There are many ways, including summarizing. What is the key content that these documents are talking about? Classifying. Are they belonging to a specific categories like certain market, certain products or features? Analyzing. You can also analyze things like sentiment, right? Are they happy or not happy when they talk about something? And then step three, to make it useful. By creating meaningful insight that is specific to your business. Because now the data is in structured form, so you can do all kinds of analytical operations like aggregating, counting, sorting, grouping, right? You name it. And then integrate with the BI system that you select. So here are some core tools, but it's not limited to these technologies. For document extraction, computer vision is the key. There will be OCR to recognize text from images, and also there are different type of parsers for forms and invoices. For information understanding, you can leverage natural language processing using a pre-built API on generic usage, or you can build customized models by taking the advantage of AutoML NLP with minimal effort and also machine learning expertise. And then you're going to need a solid data warehouse to store and gain insight from the analyzed information. So there's a platform, right? Consists of different kinds of managed tools and giving you the flexibility to create the document pipeline without building everything from scratch. So in order to read the wide variety of documents properly, you will need computer vision, right? Either OCR, or if you have some sort of program to parse the information, right? To turn the documents into text formats. Of course, you can build it yourself. But what if there are already many existing tools in the market? So why not take advantage of them? So here's the API service that you can create an OCR processor or even a form parser with a few clicks. So after it's being created, there's an endpoint that you can send your files to and get results back very, very quickly. There are two main categories, right? General purpose and also specialized parsers. For general documents, you can use things like base OCR to identify and extract text in image format, including handwritings as well. For domain-specific documents, you can choose from different type of form parsers like W2, W9, or even invoices, etc., to extract special structures from documents with key value pairs. So now you have the content in text format. How do we understand them? Do we need a person to actually sit and read them? So AutoML makes the power of AI available to you without all the high requirements of machine learning, like large amount of data, large amount of compute power, and also deep ML expertise. With AutoML documents, you can build your own customized model, which are tailored to your business needs in a very simple and efficient way. Right, here are the things you can do. I kind of mentioned that earlier. You can classify documents into the labels that you define. It could be certain services, products, and features of your own. You can also extract keywords and phrases, or identify a custom set of entities within the text contents. And also you can define the custom entities. Sentiment analysis. We can analyze attitudes within the conversations. For example, you can do a quick temperature check on the new features you just rolled out. So the core of the technology is NLP. AutoML natural language enable you to build and deploy custom machine learning models that analyze documents by providing the service we mentioned, categorizing, identifying entities, and assessing attitudes. So instead of spending large amount of time and investment on acquiring lots of examples, identifying algorithms, tuning parameters, training, deploying the models, now you can just let AutoML to handle it behind the scene. You still go through the whole machine learning training process, but in a much more efficient way. So first you feature text content into the system, right? You choose the right labels for the keywords or phrases on the UI, or if you prefer, you can go through the API as well. So AutoML helps you to automatically determine the best models for your data. And there's no need to tune the hyperparameters, because AutoML would test in parallel multiple combinations of models and parameters and make sure it gets the best one for the result. So once the training completes, an API endpoint will be provided for you to evaluate the model manually. And once you feel confident about the custom model that you built, you can do one click to deploy and integrate with existing applications without worry about anything like hosting, high availability, scaling, all in a fully managed fashion. So AI is a very complex subject, but we shouldn't make it more complex to use. So that's the reason why I support AI democratization, right? We would like to let more people accessible to useful AI. Human in the loop. So if your process requires human in the loop, right? Here's a solution. The good thing is it doesn't require the person to have strong ML expertise, and mostly they don't. So as long as they understand the documents well, they can involve in the training process to do labeling, correct errors, mark confidence scores, etc. on a UI. Okay, last but not least, to make predicted information useful, you need a solid data foundation, a good data warehouse. BigQuery is a Google's fully managed, highly scalable enterprise data warehouse solution. It is very easy to use. SQL queries. It's serverless, no hosting, no system, no clusters to worry about. Performance, it's also amazing, right? It can scan terabytes in seconds and also petabytes of data in a few minutes. It supports both batch and streaming service, depends on how you process your data. It also offers real-time insights from streaming data as well. As built-in ML out of the box, you can do some simple models like regressions, recommendations, and also it works with high-speed in-memory BI engine for faster reporting and analysis. So BigQuery is designed to make data analysts and data scientists more productive, and it is ensure security, right? There's data encryption by default. So under the hood, right, BigQuery is a very sophisticated, mature service with many moving pieces. Let's take a look at the architecture behind the scene in high level. Storage and compute are decoupled and can scale independently on demand. So this offers immense flexibility and cost control for your business because you don't need to keep your expensive compute resource up and running all the time. So this is very different than traditional node-based data warehouse solutions or any kind of on-premise systems. Storage system is what we call Colossus, which is a successor to Google File System, GFS. It's highly durable, incredibly performant, and super scalable in a distributed fashion. And we have done lots of optimizations under the hood to optimize the data distribution for your query performance. So what you need to do is send in the data, and you don't have to think about data distributions, normalizations, and all these will be done automatically. The execution engine is called Dremel. So the Dremel engine uses a multi-level serving tree for scaling out your SQL queries. It dynamically assigns slots to queries on as needed basis, which means a single user can get thousands of slots to run queries regardless of any node failures. And also due to the separation design, to connect the compute and storage layers, BigQuery uses ultra-fast network, which can deliver terabytes of data in seconds directly from storage into compute for running any query jobs. So there's so much more than I can talk for these amazing technologies. Feel free to read about more. If you need any documentations, or feel free to connect with me to discuss any design use case. Okay, all right. So I think we have briefly walked through a life of document. So first, you can convert the input like PDF, images. You can use optionally AutoML Vision or something simpler, right? API service to classify images into different types and categories. And then you can run OCR with Vision API to extract the text from each document, but also you can skip the step if they are already text-based formats. So after that, we can use a trained AutoML natural language model to extract the key fields, right? Classify by specific domains or analyze attitudes or sentiments when needed. Finally, save all the results in BigQuery. And now you can run SQL queries to analyze the extracted information the way that you want. So there are many components you can actually mix and match to build the pipeline that fit your needs, depending on your use case, your files, and more importantly, the insight that you are expected to get from the documents. I think this pretty much wraps up my presentation today. My suggestion for everyone, if you have a whole bunch of documents, think about what might be the use case, get a high-level understanding of what they are, what you may be able to get out of it, and then search Document AI, take a look at the available tools, you don't need to be ML expert. There are very minimum coding requirement as well, right? So you can start thinking about and also trying different activities you would need along the document understanding process. Okay, I think I just wrap up my session.
I'm sorry, Elliot, we have one question in our Q&A Slack channel.
Sure.
I'm not sure if you have joined it. So Jacob asking, you mentioned democratizing AI. What do you consider democratizing AI? Document AI seems to sit behind the general paywall of the other Google-related products if you scale up much past simple, small use cases.
Okay, yeah, so there are basically two questions, right? Yeah, the first one, yeah, AI democratization means make AI more accessible to not just ML experts, but also regular people, right? It could be system engineers, it could be developers, or sometimes business users can access to AI tools, right? That can help them to make better decisions, to gain better insights from the data that you have, right? So it's not about certain technologies, it's the result that we're trying to get, right? So that's why we're bringing all these technologies to the market to make sure that other people have the capability to take the advantage of AI without understanding the algorithms, TensorFlows, all those kind of things you can use right away. So that's how at least I define what is AI democratization. Can you repeat the second question? I'm sorry.
Yeah, sure. The second was the document AI seems to sit behind the general paywall of other Google-related products if you scale up much past simple, small use cases.
Sorry, I'm not sure if I understand correctly about this question.
Okay, I can repeat. What do you, document AI seems to sit behind the general paywall of the other Google-related products if you scale up much past simple, small use cases.
Does it mean, is it?
Maybe it was the continuation of the first one about what do you consider by democratizing AI?
Right. I mean, document AI is one of the priority solutions that we have, right? So if you think about, yeah, because you mentioned some of the Google tools. I'm not sure the Google corporate tools like Gmails, ads and those kind of tools. Because document AI, it's part of Google Cloud, which means it's a platform for you to build different kind of data analytics and also ML pipelines, right? So on the use case wise, document AI is broadly implemented in many industries. There's a procurement AI, there's a lending AI, there's a mortgage AI, there's an invoice processing. So these are very extensively used in different market segments, including financial, manufacturing, supply chain management, right? I'm not sure if I answered the question correctly, but that's,
Yeah,
jumping off from my head.
Thanks for answering. Also, we have another question. Do the documents have to be in format? How about a text file without label for each text blob, such as menus, part of the blob, a lot of times needs human to label what it is.
Right. So, yep. So even AutoML, right, there's a natural language API, but natural language API only provides pre-built generic models. That means it can categorize into very common categories. That's probably, it really depends on the use case. If you are looking for specific things that, to your business, for example, you want to look for the feedback, you want to look for the keywords or sentiment about your product, you probably have to train it, right? Even with AutoML natural language, you have to label it. The good thing is if you already have a certain number of examples, there are some third parties and also partners available, right? They can help you to label all the inputs that you have.
Yeah, thank you. I guess that's what we have for now. Someone is typing. I guess we still have time, so we will wait a few seconds. Maybe we will have some other questions.
Right. Okay. Yeah, I just want to add some more, right? On the labeling, unfortunately, because currently the machine learning, we need examples, right? To train any customized models, there will be some pre-built, or there's some templates that you are able to use, but really depends on the use case, because machine learning, it depends on the predictions and also the accuracy that you would like to achieve. Of course, the better labels always get better achievements. Yeah, that's what I
Yes.
add.
Yeah, okay, thanks. We have another question. Does Document AI provide the model training if I provide the label?
Yes, the document AI, it's a platform, right? So the AutoML will actually train the models for you. What is designed, it has a generic model that's built by the Google engineers. And then you can provide, for example, instead of like millions of examples, you can provide hundreds, right? Smaller amount of examples, and then you can build upon that generic models to get a customized one for your use case. So that's why I mentioned you still go through the full training process, but in a much more efficient way. So the model foundation has been built already. It's been trained, it's been evaluated, right? So you provide a smaller amount, right? Usually we prefer thousands of images, let's say images, right, that you have. If you only have like thousands of image examples, you can still feed that into the AutoML tables. Sorry, not AutoML table, AutoML, it's a text format. So you can feed that to AutoML natural language and then label the keywords that you need.